Good morning, everyone. It's Amanda from Southern Designs, and as you know, I'd love to help you simplify your office. But today, for this week's Southern tip, I'm going to talk something that's a little uncomfortable. It's called the FOZ, the freak out zone. So make sure you stay tuned to find out how you can conquer that freak out zone and what conquering that zone will do for you. So let's get this show on the road. So right now, you're all sitting there going, what's she going to talk about? Well, it's exactly what we're going to do this week. We're going to sit here and talk the uncomfortable. Now, it's a place that I like to call the freak out zone, because it's a place that when you take a step, you go, I don't want to be there. It freaks you out big time that you do not want to be there. Now, for a lot of people, some examples of this, for most people actually, the freak out zone can be something as simple as having a conversation in line at the checkout. It can be public speaking. That's a big one for a lot of people, is public speaking. So that's a major freak out zone for a lot of people. So it's the idea, or even just talking to a customer on the phone these days, because we've all gotten to use email or messaging or texting, all of these non-verbal ways of actually communicating. So we tend to have lost that human touch. So the idea of actually speaking to someone can actually be a novel thing for some people these days, as well as it can be a very, very uncomfortable, because you don't know how the person's going to react straight away, and you have to be prepared to deal with their reaction straight away. So that's an uncomfortable zone for people, and that's what I'm talking about, getting into that freak out zone, that place that makes you uncomfortable. So when you get uncomfortable, that is actually where the good things can happen. I know you're saying to me, Amanda, it's not possible. How could being that uncomfortable be good? It is, trust me, it is good. So now that we know what the freak out zone is, why do we actually need to step into it? Because imagine this. This is a circle. And in here, this is your zone of comfort. If you stay in that zone of comfort, is your business going to grow? No, it's not going to stay there. It may, instead of doing that, if you just stay in here, your business may even potentially shrink. Because if you don't get comfortable with taking that step out, you actually are denying yourself the opportunity to grow. And without that opportunity to grow, unfortunately, a lot of businesses do fail. So it's just one of those things that having a business, you need to get comfortable with the FOZ. So now we know what the FOZ is. We now know why we need to do it. Now what we need to do is how. Okay, so let's go back to our circle. So this is your circle of comfort. What you need to do is take one step out. And what that does is actually expands the circle. It expands your circle of comfort. So eventually you're going to get comfortable doing the new thing that you've just done. And then you take another step and the circle gets a little bit bigger. You get comfortable again. So you take one more step and the circle gets bigger. So can you see how this circle is actually growing? If you just take one step at a time, your freak out zone, your comfortable zone is actually going to expand. And when that happens, you give yourself so many opportunities. You stop denying yourself. You start seeing things as being possible as opposed to being impossible. There's that great quote from Audrey Hepburn that says, impossible, even the word says, I'm possible. So that's a great, great quote. I love that quote, because nothing's impossible unless you believe it's impossible. And there's this other adage that floats around that says impossible, it's only impossible until it's done. And then it becomes possible. So it's the same with the freak out zone. If you take that one step at a time, you'll start finding you're doing things that you thought you could never, ever do. Now, for a lot of people, this is going to be a major thing that you do for yourself. And it is so worthwhile. I can tell you now, it is so worthwhile to just take that one step into the FOZ. So we've now looked at what it is, why you need to do it, and how you can do it. Now, taking that one step and doing something that's uncomfortable, yes, sure, it may not work the first time, but you will have learned one way it doesn't work. And then you can do it again, and I can't wait to hear how you guys are growing your businesses by getting uncomfortable. Like take me, for example, 12 months ago, or actually no, it'd be a little more than 12 months ago, I'd never do a video. And now look at me, I do videos every week for everybody. So it's not something to be scared of. Yes, the FOS is uncomfortable. It makes you squeamish, it makes you freak out. But it's so important for you on both a personal level and a business level to do. So before we finish up today, I want you to comment below, FOS, F-O-Z, FOS yes, if you're going to promise yourself to actually take one step out this week into the FOS. And FOS no, if you're not quite ready for that. But that's okay, if you're not quite ready, just send me a message and I'll hook up a time with you and we'll see what we can do about getting you out into the FOS. Anyway, that's Amanda done now. Or me done, I should say. Shouldn't talk about myself in the third person. But anyway, probably because, yeah, who knows. That's me done for this week. And I'll be back next week with another Southern tip. Bye for now.